Thank you so much for tuning in to Mystic Worlds of Wonders. I'm Christofina. Today's topic is going to be pretty interesting, and it's about death and rebirth. Now, I know that most people do not like talking about death, but I'm more of talking about a spiritual death where you let go of old narratives that the world, including you, has created this old narrative that you sincerely need to destroy, or this old identity, this doubts does not belong to you. That's the death that I'm talking about. And also to be reborn. And that is where the magic begins. And that's what I will be talking to you guys about. But before I do get started on that, I would love to let you guys know that I am also a financial representative. So if you like to get out of debt, prepare for retirement, or just secure your wealth, making sure that your money is growing for you, feel free to just comment down below financial freedom, and I'll be more than happy to help you secure your own economy. Okay? So let's just get started. There's one book that I do want to introduce you guys to. These are for the ladies and also for the men if you love to. The name of the book is called The Goddess from Within, and the authors are Jennifer Barker Rogler and Roger J. Rogler. Sincerely, couples, but yeah, they both worked on this. The reason I'm mentioning this book is because Proserpine and Aphrodite is inside this book. And I found this, I didn't buy this, I actually found this in one of those neighborhood libraries, you know, where you give and take a book. So I ran into this one and I still keep it to this day and I love it. First, as soon as I opened this book, I turned to Aphrodite and then Proserpine. And the crazy thing is, almost towards the end, well, there's other goddesses too, like Amethyst, Hera, and so on forth. But what resonated with me was Aphrodite and Proserpine. But they do have a questionnaire at the back that when I did the questionnaire, it really was spot on. I'll tell you that. Like, the highest that I scored on was, you already know, Aphrodite and Proserpine. And for those who don't know, Aphrodite is more about love, and then Proserpine is all about the underworld. I mentioned one thing from Prosephine's chapter. Whether she shows it or not, the Proserpine woman has an intense inner life, one that self-protectively she rarely reveals to anyone. When left to herself, which is what she most desires, she may write secret journals, paint, compose fantasy fiction, or secretly indulge in her own vision and forms of meditation. Almost in despair of the loathsomes of suffering humanity around her, she may stumble upon the clear and pure world assembled to the astral travel, which is a form of leaving the body in meditation. Perhaps when she's growing up, the young Proserpine may find her way to occultism or spiritualism via a trusted oddball friend or a local library, which is true. Her studies will naturally be closely guarded, secret, yet here, finally, she will reassure knowing that she is not weird or abnormal, but simply different in more positive sense. That is clearly me, but it resonates with me. And there's one more. Let's see. If this is so, from standpoint, this would mean that the very structures and energies of the deep unconsciousness, which symbolically we perceive as gods or goddesses, are undergoing a profound shift. So the type of person who is most sensitive to such shifts, the sheer or the mediumistic type, we are calling the Proserpine woman. is going to be right at the center of this monstrous eruption of new psychic and spiritual powers. So, that is true. And anyways, I love this book. I do not worship any other gods besides one God, but I love being aligned to certain goddesses who embody the same personal traits. Or, you know, I will add the book in the description if you want to order it and read it yourself. It does have other goddesses involved, and it is for men and women, so men, you are not excluded. So let's go ahead and get back to, let's go ahead and talk more about death and rebirth. I just have all my notes. Because I tend to just go whoop, and I need to have a structure set in place. So yeah, let me turn this light on. Okay. So, have you yourself dealt with spiritual death? Whether that's in a dream or, you know, astral projection, you know? If you have, please feel free to like share your story in the comments. I'll be happy to read them. The reason why I ask that, the world itself can be a dark place, as we all may know. Whether that's just simply being with your family, tuning into certain things that doesn't resonate with your soul, or just simply being around, you know, being around people who are quite just negative or narcissistic, just comes off in bad, just nothing but bad energy. The fact that those people who give you bad vibes, who are so negative, they can sabotage you in every realm, which is physical, spiritual, emotional, you name it, and that's sabotaging. And those who just treat you like they just disrespect you. They literally think they can just do anything they want to you because either one, you allow it, or two, they just think it's just fun and games. That's when it's time for you to just know how to clear your mind, your body, and your soul. Shut off all that noise, the negative things that does not resonate with your soul. Because the people who are sabotaging you, hurting you physically, emotionally, verbally, that is some sort of fragment energy that's put in place in you. You may not realize it, but it happens. So the people who do that, they do not determine your fate. Reason why I say that, do not give them the power to sit here and destroy your potential because of X, Y, and Z. Those people, the people who sabotage you, whether they think that you're too much, you're too sensitive, you're too emotional, you're too loud. Little did they know that you're more than what appears to be right in their very eye. They do not hold the pen, or hold on. The people who talk ugly towards you cannot even close a lion's mouth, even if they tried, including myself. It's just more of how we take control and how we respond in order for us to take care of this. When you're dealing with that pain, you're like a molten gold, reshaping, reforging, and simply transforming to become. And the true power doesn't come from perfection. It comes from you walking through the fire and still coming out of the fire without even being melted, but just becoming a beast, a god, with your crown, sitting on your throne. And I sincerely say to you, don't numb your pain. I've tried it. It doesn't work. And it just doesn't. You may think you're trying to get rid of something. You're not. You're not. Don't numb it. Don't punish yourself for something that has happened to you because it was out of your control, or because you just think it's something familiar because of maybe your childhood or whatever the case may be. You can turn your life around within a twinkling of an eye. But use your pain as a source of power so that you can create something beyond your own understanding. Because that's what I'm doing in this very moment. Making a difference. And sincerely, I'm on this journey, and to this day, it surprises me that I am building my own business in this very moment, you know? And who would have thought I'd be building a business? You know, you just never know what you're capable of doing until you just do it. So in this very moment, it's a prophecy of renewal, of transformation, wholeness. And what you're breaking down, you're just also breaking through, because it's worth going through a journey if you're willing to put in the work and also intertwine what's within you so that you can be the divine surveillance that God has given you already. So the walls that you're tearing down, the barriers that you're tearing down, doesn't need to be destroyed, even though I did mention that. But transmute it, unite with it, use it as your power so that you can become whole. And for the people who laughed at you, for the people who think you're a joke, you're cringing, they're not the ones who are going to pay your bills. They're not the ones who are going to take care of your health. And darn for sure, they're not going to be going to your funeral when you die. Love yourself with all your heart, whether you're going through death or rebirth. Love the process that you're going through just to be reborn. I sincerely went through 1 or 2 deaths, and it kind of spooked me, but I was ready for it. I was ready for a crucifixion, and you gotta be ready too. And maybe you have to be unready to be ready, but it was more of preparation of me surrendering myself to let go of what has been holding me back to express the version that I know that I truly am. And I know that I'm not the only one on this journey, because there's 8.5 billion, maybe 6 billion people on this earth. Morningstar, who probably takes majority of the population, leaves down to 2% of people who needs to be awoken and aware of their divine power, because the world has suppressed us from our power, our infinite source. Knowing the fact that we will only believe in what's visible, we will be happy and satisfied. That all leads to meaningless. It really does. Well, also blasphemy, but I was kind of in a trance for a moment. The question is, are you ready to take back your throne? Are you ready to put on that crown and conquer your life? I'm gonna keep asking this question in every video that I make. Are you ready to conquer your world, sit on your throne, and put that crown on your head and be ready to shine and take control of your life, take back your life? Not just your life, but your power that God has given us to embrace, but was shut out because of how the world knows how powerful God is. And it's amazing. Just know you are never broken. You're never too late to make a difference today for yourself. to get your life back. If you're going through bewilderment times, whether that's you losing your job, unhealthy relationships, you just feel like you're just losing a lot of things, just know that you will change. Everything will change for the better or worse. I don't know if there's a lot of Napoleon Hill readers out there, but I recommend Outwitting the Devil, because there was a time where Napoleon went through bewilderment times. It was about 2 or 3 years where he had to be in solitude or hide because of, I forgot the specific. There was a guy that he met that he was working with, and he ended up getting into some trouble because he was discovering about gangs or so on. I forgot what it was. There was also corrupt cops involved, and they thought Napoleon Hill was part of his project of the guy they killed. So Napoleon had to leave out of his city for a long time so that he don't end up getting killed, even though he was never part of the project that his buddy was in. I forgot the guy's name, but during that time where he had to hide, he was going through frustration. He was going out of rage. There was a time where he walked outside. He kept asking himself repetitively, what is it that I need to do? I have it right here. Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. There's a time he repetitively asked himself this question until he heard something, which was his other self, which is infinite intelligence. And for him to be able to tune into that during the time of bewilderment, that lets me know that I can do the same too. And you can do the same too. No matter what your conditions or circumstances are, you can do something about it. As long as you're consistent and you're devoted and you're allowing your other self to take control, it's just only the beginning. That's where the magic is at. So you're not here to fit in society's norms. You're here to wake yourself up and also others, people around you, simply by just being who you really are. So remember just to wake up, not just for yourself, but for the people who need you. Let the labels that people put on you go. Let them go. Let their projections return to them. Let their doubts about you become compost for your becoming. Let it feed you. Transmute what they're telling you in a way to just feed the monster or the other self in you, so that you can use it as a power. Death, pain, I see it as a monster. Transmuting it all just to become something bigger, better, stronger than you ever had before. You are the cycle and the seed, the ending and the beginning, the miracle, the wonder, and the goddess or God that you really are. So let there be sacred return to your voice, to your knowing, and to your divinity. It's okay to grieve when you die, or when you see yourself die. Because I did tear up a little bit when I died, but I was happy. Surprisingly. But just don't forget what it taken for you to do to get to that place. You may have multiple deaths for all I know, but just know deep down inside there's something within you that's just screaming to come out. Just screaming to just simply be and ready for you to just take back your life. If you're dealing with demons, those are your darkest moments. But the question is, how are you going to use your demons, which I sincerely call them my servants, to help you build your foundation? You guys may think I'm insane. I do care about how I can impact you in a way for you to move forward in your life, regardless of your thoughts. There is this other book that I've read called Become What You Are by Alan Watts. I found this book in the library, and I continue to still read it every time I go to the library. Hold on. It's so powerful, and it resonates with me. And hold on. Give me a moment. Here it is. A man must follow in order to live with them. How by love the gods would become your friend, and your demons your servants. Pass through the valley of the shadow, where the Neophyte comes face to face with the dweller of the threshold and all the most terrible powers of the psyche. Reading that, I felt so powerful. It felt so powerful. It sincerely felt powerful to me. And it resonated with the dream that I had when I was 16 years old, and when I was living in New Mexico, and I moved to California, and I got a hold of this book called Become What You Are. It just makes me realize that there's so much going on all at once, whether that's internally or externally, or whether that's your internal world becoming your own reality. If what I said to you resonate with your soul today, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. And again, thank you so much for tuning in to Mystic Worlds of Wonders.